خالفتم أقوال الشيوخ فأنتم.
Peace.
Hello.
I myself am a former Sunni Muslim. Now I only follow the Quran alone.
You follow the Quran alone?
Yeah.
All right. Why is that?
When I looked at a certain Sahih Hadith, I just, it clearly contradicted the Quran, and I couldn't accept that.
According to whose interpretation?
Well, from the Quran.
Well, according to whose interpretation?
Well, I say my interpretation honestly, but I think that, from basing off the Quran.
I think according to the majority of Muslims from the time of the 7th century until now, they don't contradict. So I go with the communal and universal acceptance of Muslims over your opinion.
Okay. Yeah. But would you say the consensus of scholars could be wrong?
Well, I'm not talking about scholars. I'm talking about the general and universal acceptance of the practice of Muslims that's been transmitted since the 7th century till now.
Okay, let's remove scholars, but could you just say that the consensus of all the followers could be wrong?
No.
They can't be wrong.
Yeah, if we're gonna base it on probability, then no, they can't be wrong. Using the inference to the best possible explanation.
Okay, but in chapter 6, verse 116, it says, if you obey the majority, they'll lead you astray.
Obey the majority of what? What's the context?
Yeah, the majority meaning the whole world.
No, yeah, because the majority of people at the time...
Give me a second.
Right, because the Muslims were a minority at the time. What does that have to do with anything? Guys, double tap the screen and share the live.
Could you repeat your answer, please?
I said the majority of people were not Muslims at the time. The Muslims are a minority.
So Muslims can they be wrong, or yes or no?
Depends on what you mean. You have to disambiguate.
Okay, so for example, I personally believe that Prophet Muhammad was not illiterate.
Okay, some scholars had that opinion. Some scholars some scholars thought that at the beginning of his message he was illiterate, and later he was no longer illiterate, and there is evidence for that. For when he told Ali to erase something from the book that he told him to, or the letter that he told him to write, and he didn't want to erase it, so he took the paper, he erased it for him, and he wrote something else. So there's evidences that he wasn't illiterate his whole life. That's fine, but what does that have to do with Sunni tradition, though?
But then, but don't you believe, though, when the Quran was being revealed to him, he was illiterate?
In the beginning of the message, he would have been illiterate, yeah.
Okay. But in chapter 25, verse 5, the enemies of the prophet were accusing him of writing down fictitious tales. So why would the enemies of the prophet accuse him of writing down something, even though a lot of people claim that he was illiterate?
Sorry, what's the argument?
Yeah, so in chapter 25, verse 5, it says the enemies of the prophet were accusing him of writing down fictitious tales. They were claiming that the Quran was fictitious.
Fictitious tales?
Yes.
Let's pull the verse up. What is it?
Chapter 25, verse 5.
Quran. Let's follow together. Quran 25:5. وَقَالُوا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. And they say these revelations are only ancient fables which he had written down, and they are rehearsed to him morning and evening. Okay?
So my point is, why are you claiming that the prophet was illiterate during the time he was receiving the Quran?
Hey, stupid. Listen to what I said.
Well, why you don't need to name call me?
Did I say the prophet was illiterate his whole life?
Well, you said at the end of his life.
I didn't say at the end of his life. I said at the beginning.
Clarify, please.
I said at the beginning of Revelation, he wasn't, or he was illiterate. Later on, he would have probably learned to write, and there's evidence from the Sunnah. Point number 2, even if he was illiterate, how does this prove that he was illiterate? If they claim that he wrote them down, does that mean that he really knows how to write?
No, I just think that it's a ridiculous point that you claim that the Prophet was illiterate while he was receiving revelation.
I'm telling you, Hadith rejectors are brain dead. So I'm going to say that again. I don't think the Prophet was illiterate his whole life. Are you stupid?
Yeah, no, I understand your point, but I believe you do.
So why do you keep saying, I think the Prophet is illiterate, when I said, I don't think he was illiterate his whole life?
But you just said earlier that at the earlier points of him receiving the Quran, he was illiterate.
At the beginning of a revelation, he was illiterate. Later on, he wouldn't have been illiterate no more. That's point number one. Point number two, how does this verse prove that he was literate?
Because why would the enemies of the Prophet accuse him of being illiterate, even though they're claiming that he was writing down fictitious tales?
Why would they accuse him of doing magic? Was he a magician?
No.
Okay, there's your answer.
But again, even the enemies of the Prophet were claiming that, oh, this guy's illiterate, this guy's illiterate. But then even in the Quran, they were accusing him of writing down stuff.
They were also accusing him of being a magician. Does that make him a magician?
No, but again, in your position or the mainstream position.
So what are you arguing against? This
my point is my point is you believed at the beginning. So do you think while this verse was revealed to him, he was illiterate? Yes or no?
This guy is brain dead. I don't think.
I'm not brain dead. I think you're pretty slow, sadly.
I'm gonna answer your question. So muzzle up and be quiet while I answer.
Okay, go, bro. You can keep calling me names and whatever. It just shows you you're not on your sunnah, bro.
Hey, point number one. I don't think the Prophet was illiterate his whole life. Point number two. Even if I did, this verse doesn't prove that he was either literate or illiterate. Rather, this is what the pagan polytheists claimed about the Prophet, as they had claimed many other things and lies about the Prophet. Do you understand? Did you get that through your thick skull?
Okay, but I understand that point. But again, I'm asking you if for 25.5, was the Prophet illiterate, yes or no, according to your own understanding?
Either is fine.
Okay, if you like to, we can move on to another topic.
Sure.
Another thing I disagree is that Jesus is not coming back from the Quran alone. You
think that Jesus is not coming back?
Yeah, he won't. He will come back, but the sense that he's going to fight the Dajjal and all that stuff, it's not in the Quran, so I reject that.
Okay, and why should I grant your worldview and methodology?
Because it's not included in the Quran. The Quran is the criterion, so if it's the criterion, we have to reject things outside of it.
Well, we don't think divine revelation is only in the Quran. Can you prove that?
I agree with you. The revelation is not explicitly only in the Quran, but the Quran is the criterion. So if there's things that to be add on or to contradict the Quran, you would have to reject.
Where does the Quran say there's no Dajjal and Jesus won't come and fight him?
It doesn't say that explicitly, but it does not mention Dajjal.
So then the Quran does not contradict this tradition, right?
So it does not mention Jadal. So would that just be added on to the Quran?
It doesn't need to mention it. You just said divine revelation could be either in the Quran or outside, right?
So if it's not, so you're claiming that the Quran is incomplete in the sense that it does not contain the information of Dajjal.
The Quran is complete in how Allah intended it to be.
So it's complete, but it doesn't contain all the necessary information, i.e. the eschatology of the Quran.
Dajjal is not necessary information. The Quran has...
Oh, it's not necessary information. So I do not need to believe in the Dajjal?
Whether you know that Dajjal is coming back or you're ignorant of it, that doesn't change your religion. It doesn't take you outside of the fold. It doesn't make you a non-Muslim. The Quran itself says that there is clear verses. They are the mother of the book, and there is ambiguous verses. So even within the Quran, there are things that we don't know, that we don't understand, that we can't interpret. And yet still the Quran is complete. Why? Because the verses that are Ummul Kitab, the verses that are clear, are sufficient for our religion.
Okay, but again, the Quran does not mention the Dajjal. So is the Dajjal necessary in belief to be a Muslim?
It's only necessary if the information has come to you from the Prophet. If the information has not come to you from the Prophet, then it's not necessary. You don't need to know it or not know it.
So how can we prove for certain that these hadith or outside revelation you claim, which are the hadith, are from Prophet Muhammad?
Very easy. We use the Sunni Rijal tradition, the hadith and matan analysis. And if you don't like the traditional analysis, we could even use the Orientalist Western methodology, the Isnad kum matan analysis. We look at asanid, we look at the different collectors, we see if they're independently attested, we see if the Isnad has a common link or it branches out with different independent chains, and if each chain is consistent and corroborates the other one, and we could trace it back to a Sahabi or a Tabi'i or to the Prophet himself.
Okay, but let's just say a Jew, right? The Jews can argue that they have a isnad system, a chain system that goes back to rabbis, and they can claim that can come back to Moses.
We have an isnad system, therefore it's true. I said you look at the asanid available and you do isnad and matan analysis. You use a historical method to see how far back a narration goes.
Okay, the Jews have the same thing. They have content and then also the isnad. So can theirs be true?
And we could apply that and see if it goes back to Musa or if it goes back to a random rabbi.
Okay, so can the Talmud come back to Moses?
Yeah, actually the Quran speaks about Talmudic traditions.
Give me an example.
Was Ibrahim thrown in the fire?
Yes, from the Quran.
Is that in the Bible or in the Talmud?
I assume it's from the Talmud.
It's in the Talmud. It says what else? Let me think. Yeah, God flipping the Mount Sinai on top of the Jews. Is that in the Bible or in the Talmud?
I'm assuming that's in the Talmud.
It's also in the Talmud. There's many other traditions that are in the Talmud, and Allah confirms them. So just because it's in the Talmud, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have divine origin, that it goes back to one of the prophets or to Musa alayhi salam.
So would you say that you do uphold the Talmud in some degree?
No, I don't uphold the Talmud.
Okay then, so if it's not included in, or it is included in the Talmud, that wouldn't be a criterion to follow.
No, you asked me if there's anything in the Talmud that goes back to the prophets. I said yes. How does that mean I have to uphold the Talmud in its entirety? For example,
so it is included. Okay, go ahead.
For example, are there true things in the Bible that Allah confirms?
There can be fact, yes.
Do you uphold the Bible?
No.
All right, there you go, man.
All right, good point. I appreciate talking to you.
So we know that there are certain, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in chapter 2 of the Quran, He tells the Prophet to turn to a new qibla. He turned his head to a new qibla. Yes?
Yeah.
Good. We have historical and archaeological evidence that the earliest masajid, the qibla faces towards Jerusalem. When did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran command the Muslims and the Prophet to face Jerusalem?
Well, I do not have the necessary time and date of when that was switched over, but would that previous qibla be relevant to us?
I said, is it in the Quran?
No, it's not mentioned in the Quran, but some can argue that chapter 17, verses 1 and 2, Masjid al-Aqsa is included.
Yeah, Masjid al-Aqsa is mentioned. It doesn't say that it's a direction for the qibla of the Muslims. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says we have revealed different shara'i'. All right. So even if, which it doesn't, but even if we have in the story of Musa where he tells them to pray towards Jerusalem or Isa, this is not sufficient evidence to show that it's also for the prophets, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He has given us different shara'i' for each ummah. Now, if divinely instituted laws or obligations are only in the Quran, do you agree that facing the qibla is a religious institution?
It is, but the previous qibla is no longer applied to us, so that would just be irrelevant.
That's fine. Before that ayah was revealed, when did Allah in the Quran tell the Muslims to face Jerusalem?
Well, there's a opinion in the Quran alone community which says like there's no exact qibla. You can point east to west according to chapter 2, verse 177.
Sir, I said we have archaeological evidence. Maybe you missed this point. The archaeological evidence suggests that if we go back to the earliest masajid built, the Qibla is facing Jerusalem. So where did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell those early Muslims to face Jerusalem?
That's a very good point. I got to give it to you that.
Right, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he speaks, is not from his own regarding the religion. The Quran bears witness to this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Which means whatever the Prophet brings you, take it, and whatever he forbids you from, then don't approach it. Okay?
Okay.
So
why
are you rejecting the Quran?
No, wait, I don't reject the Quran. You didn't finish the verse. You did not finish the verse. That verse that you quoted, it was half or a portion of the verse. This one is particularly about war boon.
How does that, yeah, I know you listen to Muhammad from God, your Messiah.
Yes, I do.
But unfortunately...
Oh, no, he's not the Messiah.
Yeah, unfortunately, even when he came here, he got baked and sent back to his dungeon. So, that ayah, right, whether it has a specific context or not, it doesn't matter, because it still applies. And the Quran bears witness to that, because Allah says in the Quran that whatever the Prophet speaks, it is divine revelation. And we can establish historically, using historical critical method, using ICMA, Isnad Meta analysis, that's a hadith go back to the Prophet.
So what you just said earlier, that everything that the Prophet says is revelation, correct?
Regarding the religion.
Regarding the religion. So why in the Quran that God corrected him for making a prohibition on himself?
Because that's not regarding the religion. He prohibited himself from doing it. It's not the religious institution.
Well, no, he did a prohibition for himself and also including for his wives.
That's not a religious institution, Habibi. For example, let me tell you. For example, I could say, I forbid myself from eating chicken. Did I say that in the religion you can't eat chicken?
Wait, no, you didn't.
Exactly. So if I forbid myself personally from doing something, I am not doing this for the religion. This is not divine institution. This is the Prophet himself making a commitment for from his personal choice. And Allah tells him, no, don't do that. Don't forbid yourself from what Allah has made halal. He was trying to please his wives. He didn't want his wives to be angry.
Okay, but let me give you a different case. So the one specifically that he made a little rule within his household, particularly with his wives, and that was deemed to be a religious thing. But then God corrected him for that point.
Even if that's the case, it is not a religious matter or religious decree.
Well, no, but it was a religious matter for his wives, though.
No, it's not. I could tell my wife.
Sure?
Yes, I could tell if it's a religious matter, then all the people following the religion must do it.
Can you? Okay, go ahead.
The very fact that you said it's only for him and his wives means that it's not a religious institution, because the religion is not just him and his wives.
Okay, could you please pull up that verse and let me pull up this as well. This was particularly a religious ruling for his wives, and then God corrected him for it. Let me pull it up.
This guy is not tracking whatsoever.
It's in chapter 4, verses 23 to 24.
Go ahead and read it, dude.
I cannot read it at the same time while I'm out of the stream.
What's the verse?
4:23 through 24.
24, 23, and 24. Forbidden for you for marriage are your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, your paternal and maternal aunts, your brothers' daughters, your sisters' daughters, your foster mothers, your foster sisters, your mothers-in-law, your he just left. This guy just got baked. This guy just did the dash. Hey man, Hadith rejectors gotta be the stupidest people on the face of planet Earth. I'm telling you. I have pity for these people, man. So sad. He got baked, man. It's insane. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, let's see who else we got.
You, yes, I'm talking to you. You're an ambassador to Islam everywhere you go. And what better way to be an ambassador to your faith other than rocking a premium Moroccan Gadora or Jalaba as you see me rocking the Orthodox Muslim. Get yours today on chopanddoodles.com and support the Orthodox Muslim channel.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaik. What's up?
Yeah, I reject Bukhari and Muslim and those hadith. I only follow Quran alone, which is ahsan al-hadith.
Nice, man. Well, sad for you. All of the narrations in Bukhari exist in Musnad Imam Ahmad and other compilers that came before. So I don't know what your problem is with Bukhari, but all the narrations in Bukhari exist in other compilations.
No, they all contradict each other, actually.
They don't.
Yeah, they do. I can show you.
All right.
They contradict themselves and the Quran.
Sahih Hadith contradict each other?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see it.
All right.
He doesn't know that we could actually accept contradictions in Hadith because of transmitters making mistakes.
They're liars. No. Well, this is about the religion, right? If they contradict God and contradict the words of God, that's a problem.
No, it just means that if there is truly a contradiction, all it means is that a transmitter made a mistake and transmitted.
All transmitters make mistakes. You guys believe?
Yeah, well, that's right. Transmitters do make mistakes, but when they're independently corroborated by other transmitters and the matan is consistent, and whenever we have a branch out, the matan stays consistent, then we know that we could track it back to the Prophet.
You can't, because for one, you guys believe that hell is temporary for you guys. The Quran makes it clear that hell is eternal. It condemns people who say that hell is temporary, which is exactly what you guys do.
It condemns the Jews for saying that.
Oh, so God is racist now. He excludes only the Jews.
Yeah.
So when the Jews say it's temporary, they're condemned. But if a Christian or a Sunni or anybody else says, no, it's temporary, it's fine, because they're God's most beloved and chosen people. And 518 rejects this.
All right, so what's the argument?
The hell is eternal, which you guys disbelieve in.
Well, the Prophet says that the Muslims will go to paradise.
That's hadith, brother. That's not from the Prophet.
No, we know it goes back to the Prophet because we can
It
trace
does
it
not.
back to the Prophet.
It does not.
Do you want to do
The
it right
hadith?
now? Do you want to trace it back to the Prophet?
Let's look at the content instead of focusing on the
But
stories.
do you want to trace it back to the Prophet?
Sorry, yeah, I want to read what the book says because people, brother, atheists, Trinitarians, Jews,
Sir,
they can use.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir. So let me just one by one. Let me just respond to the little stupid shubha you have, because maybe this stupid shubha made you a murtad. So maybe we could bring you back.
I'm not a murtad. I'm not a murtad. You're a Muslim. Don't insult me. You're a Muslim.
If you're a Muslim, then I'm Genghis Khan himself. So anyway, let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah, the hadith says that your prophet was Genghis Khan, killing people, raping women, marrying 6-year-olds.
All right, cool.
Don't insult me, brother. Do not insult me.
Cool stuff. Let's answer your shubha. The Jews said that the nar won't touch them illa ayyaman ma'dudah, meaning the Jews have a tradition that anybody who dies a Jew will go to hell for this small amount, and they knew the amount, they claimed the amount, they asserted this small amount of time, and after this small amount is done, they guaranteed that the Jew would come out. That we don't believe that we know the amount of hellfire. Don't worry. If you're a Muslim and you die, you'll only go to hell for 7 years and you'll come out.
7 years? So you know the amount. So you know the amount.
No, we don't know the amount.
You said 7 years.
So I just answered your shubha, Habibi. All right?
It's not a shubha, brother. It's not a shubha.
So now the question is, the crux of the conversation is there any divine revelation outside of the Quran?
Not for us. It's like how Moses, when God revealed to him to split the Red Sea, that was outside of the Torah. Like, for example, if God tells the Prophet Muhammad...
if there is divine revelation outside of the Quran.
Not for us.
Okay, cool. Now, let's look at this hadith analysis here. Do you know the hadith about the sack of Baghdad?
Yeah.
The hadith is collected by 3 compilers: Musnad Imam Ahmad, Sunan Abi Dawood, and Ibn Hibban. It's recorded in 5 different chains, and all the mutun are corroborated all the way back to Sa'id ibn Jumhan, who is living and narrating at the 1st century. So we could trace this hadith back to Sa'id ibn Jumhan using the ICMA.
Very circular. That's circular reasoning. ICMA.
What's the sir? You know the ICMA is an Orientalist Western methodology and not a Muslim one.
Now let's read the content. Like I said, look.
Okay, perfect. So you're just using words that you don't understand. So, for example,
I know exactly what they mean, bro.
So this hadith, according to the ICMA, goes back to the 1st century Hijri, and describes the exact events of the sack of Baghdad that occurred in 1258. How did Sa'id ibn Jumhan prophesy exactly what will happen 600 years later? Or did he get it from the Prophet?
Hadith Critic made a video disproving you. It's 40 minutes long. You can check it out when you're done.
And I made a video taking a shit on him and his response. So
well,
maybe
bro,
you should check
now
it
you're
out.
swearing now. You're swearing now. Okay.
So now,
is this how Muhammad wants you to speak? Is this how Muhammad wants you to speak?
Muhammad sallallahu alayhi
the Prophet,
wasallam.
no. Oh, God does salah now. God does salah. No, it means to support, brother. You're twisting the verse.
Name like he is.
I do say his name.
Don't say his name like he's your best friend.
He's just a man. So he can't be a best friend? He's a man.
Don't say
I do respect Rasulullah. I love Rasulullah.
Right?
I make no distinction between the messengers.
Don't call him Muhammad like he's your neighbor.
Prophet Muhammad. Okay, Prophet Muhammad. Nabi Rasul.
Salatu wassalam.
No, you twisted the verse. You twisted, 3356. You twisted it.
Anyways, let's get back. The narration, according to your God, Hadith Critic, he admits that it goes back.
He's not my God. No, he's not my God. I don't follow him, but he refuted you. He's not my God. Muhammad is your God. Bukhari is your God. I don't follow Hadith Critic.
Hey, demon, stop manifesting.
Bro, you stop manifesting, bro. Stop manifesting. Look.
Demon.
I'm a demon. You're a Muslim, brother. You're a pedophile. You believe you can marry 6-year-olds, brother.
Cool,
you believe you can marry 6-year-olds. Cool. Let's talk about the Hadith.
That's what your Quran says in 65:4. Are these guys atheists? Hey, don't mute him, Henny. Hey, stop. Don't mute him. It's all right. It's all right.
You're spreading lies about the
Quran. Hadith,
brother, don't spread lies about the Quran.
I'm speaking now, man. You're manifesting.
Oh, you're spreading lies about the Quran.
All right. If I am, then let me talk.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. According to Hadith Critic, he admits the hadith goes back at least to Sa'id ibn Jumhan, who's alive at the end of the 1st century, meaning within 100 years of the Prophet. He claims that he got this from Abdul Rahman ibn Abi Bakr, who got this from his father Abi Bakr, who got this from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We cannot corroborate what's beyond Sa'id ibn Jumhan. We just have to take his word for it, I guess. But we know that the hadith goes back at least to Sa'id ibn Jumhan. Now, this is in the 1st century. How did he prophesy and know exactly what will happen 600 years later?
Okay, so if someone goes and makes 1,000 different prophecies, and one or a few of them come true, that does not mean anything, because there's so many false prophecies in the hadith that we can go over.
So Sa'id ibn Jumhan is not a self-proclaimed prophet who goes up and makes different prophecies.
He's not a prophet. He's not a prophet.
Yeah, he is saying he got this from Rasulullah. He's not saying this is from me. He's saying I'm getting this from Rasulullah. So
and that's circular reasoning.
Are you saying that Sa'id ibn Jumhan is a prophet? Wal-iyadu billah, he knew the
Absolutely
future?
not. Absolutely
so
not.
How did he know the future?
Again, if someone goes, a random person makes 1,000 prophecies,
well, he didn't make 1,000 prophecies, and that's
the hadith. No, the hadith makes many false prophecies.
He's getting this from the Prophet. So
are
you agreeing that Sa'id ibn Jumhan made a true prophecy?
Simpsons also made true prophecies. It doesn't mean anything. They did.
So
they prophesied Trump.
Simpsons didn't make true prophecies.
They did. So they prophesied Trump.
The prophecy is very clear. Okay, some of my people, the Muslims, they will go on a low-lying ground. They will call Al-Basra, beside the Tigris River. It will be numerous in population. Okay. And a people with broad faces and small eyes, the sons of Keturah, the people of the east, will come and attack it, and the people will split into 3 groups. This is layered and detailed. Nobody could have made this up. Nobody could have just looked around and came up with it. So are you saying Sa'id ibn Jumhan is a prophet who knew the future?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. But
So
one,
how did he know
the
the
Quran,
future?
okay, the Quran says that Muhammad did not know the future. It says it many times. In 7:188, I think, it says that if he knew the future,
he says that he doesn't know ilmul ghaib, ya kadhab.
He doesn't know the future. Yeah, kazzab. No, there's many verses.
Finish.
He said if he,
Let me finish.
you interrupted me. You interrupted me. You interrupted me. You interrupted me. You interrupted me.
So you lied upon the Quran.
I did not. You lied about.
Henny, stop muting, bro. I'll mute if I see fit. All right? So you lied upon the Quran. The Quran in chapter 7, I believe, does not know I don't know the future. It says I don't know ilmul ghaib. I don't have knowledge of the unseen. And we know from the same Quran, Habibi, that knowledge of the future was revealed to Rasulullah. For example, Surah Al-Rum says, غُلِبَتِ الرُّومِ in the nearby land, fi adna al-ard, and in 3 to 9 years they will be victorious. Did the prophets receive this knowledge of the future, Hussam? You're muted. Speak. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Only stuff in the Quran. For example, when the Quran talks about embryology.
Wait. Just one by one. Did Rasulullah receive knowledge of the future here?
Only stuff in the Quran.
Okay. But I thought he doesn't know the future.
Only stuff that's in the Quran. He didn't know embryology. He knows anything that God told him. Look,
okay.
He knows anything.
So Hussam, wait. So now he can know the future? It's just God has to reveal it to him?
I'm sorry, not the future, but for example, stuff about embryology, right? Which you agree is broken down.
That has nothing to do with the future, bro. Listen, you said the prophet doesn't know the future. Did God reveal to him the future in Surah Al-Rum?
The only stuff that was in the Quran, like embryology or anything that's in the Quran.
Just wait. Yeah. You said the prophet doesn't know the future. Now he does know the future as long as God
gives him. Only stuff that God gives him. Only stuff God gives him.
So as long as God reveals it to him, he can know the future, right?
Yeah, anything God reveals to his messengers. 72:27.
All right, baked and cooked. All right, good.
How is that baked and cooked?
So then your argument fails. I am saying this prophecy was not from himself, it was received from Allah. So now the question to you again, did Sa'id ibn Jumhan know the future, or did he really get it from Rasulullah who knew the future from Allah?
That historical thing, look, I'm going to be confident and honest with you. I'm going to look more into it, right? But that's very on the side, right? And that point does not prove anything. That point does not prove anything.
It proves that Rasulullah made a prophecy and it came true to the T.
The messengers make prophecy. Okay, yeah, the prophets can make prophecies.
Allahu Akbar. So this hadith is sahih.
Allahu Akbar. I know. Okay.
So Hussam, this hadith is sahih. It goes back to Rasulullah.
The hadith. I mean, anything from the hadith that aligns with the Quran. For example, when the hadith says that Muhammad was a man, right? He had body parts. He had hands. He had 5 fingers. I have no problem with that.
All right, good. So now you don't reject hadith. Some hadith you accept, right?
Like when it says Jesus was a prophet, it says Jesus is not God, he is not the Son of God. I have no problem with that.
Okay, wait. Right? So some hadith, as long as they go back to Rasulullah, you accept them.
Yeah, like the hadith where the Prophet says, which is the most mutawatir one. Now listen, the hadith in Sahih Muslim 3004, the Prophet said, "Do not write anything after me except the Quran."
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And what is that supposed to prove?
That he himself condemned writing hadith. He condemned writing anything other than him, even in the Quran.
Is that a sahih hadith that you're reading?
It is. It's actually the most mutawatir.
Was that hadith written? Wait, was that hadith written down?
Yeah.
Allahumma salli.
No, look. If I say, no, listen. If I say, look. If I tell somebody, do not write anything after me, right? Yeah. And then someone writes down, no, listen. And then somebody writes down that I said this. Does that mean anything?
Yeah, so the hadith.
It just means that I said it.
So the Prophet didn't have his narrations in mind when he said that, because he assumed that the people who had lived with him and heard the things that he said already knew them. You understand? And
no, that's not true.
What do you mean it's not true? He told them everything.
But how do you mean? Hadith came centuries after they died.
Let me finish. And those things were transmitted from person to person to person. Okay? The beauty about Islam and the beauty about our sources is that from very early on we developed this isnad methodology. that everything that was transmitted with an isnad. And that's how we were able to preserve these narrations. And that's the miraculous nature of the preservation of the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa
The only sunnah in the Quran is Sunnatullah. That's the only sunnah in the Quran.
Sunnatullah is Sunnat Rasulullah. They are not.
It's not. Oh, so Muhammad is God now. Wow. Okay.
Dude, you are slow as hell. How does that follow?
You're the one that's slow. The Quran says the only sunnah is Sunnatullah.
So wait, does the Quran say that we have not sent a messenger except that we have made obedience to him obligatory?
Yeah, and the Hadith, Ati'a Rasul, but Bukhari is not a messenger.
Okay,
Bukhari
cool.
is not a messenger.
So whatever the Prophet says, i.e. his sunnah, is whatever
It's not
Allah
his
says,
sunnah.
i.e.
The
Allah
sunnah
says.
is not, the sunnah is not from the Prophet.
You're just equivocating.
I'm not equivocating anything.
You are. The
No, I'm
sunnah
not.
of Rasulullah is
There's
the
only
sunnah that
Sunnatullah.
Allah revealed to him.
The only sunnah that exists is Sunnatullah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
No, you don't. Because you're saying no. No, you should be saying it's Muhammad's
Sunnatullah
sunnah.
is that which he revealed to his messenger.
Okay, and Bukhari and Tirmidhi, Muslim, Nasai, they were not revealed to the messenger. They came 240 years after he died from a random version, man.
That's right. Not everything in the Hadith collections was revealed because some of them are fabrications and some of them are weak.
No, all of them, no. I'm talking only the Sahih ones.
That's why we have a beautiful methodology in filtering out what is authentic and what is not. And you have admitted already that as long as we could trace back the sanad and the matan to the Prophet, then you would believe it, right?
I mean, yeah, when the Hadith says Moses was a prophet, no problem with that. That's fine. Just like you reject the Bible, but the Bible says Jesus was a man, right?
Now what about divinely instituted religious obligations from the narrations?
Yeah, the only obligations are in the Quran, as the Quran itself says.
But using the same methodology that we use, that Hadith critic, your God, uses.
He's not my God. I don't follow him. Your God is Bukhari. Your God is Sahih Muslim. I don't follow Hadith critic.
For you, all the narrations in Bukhari exist in Musnad Imam Ahmad and other compilations.
It doesn't mean that's circular reasoning. It doesn't mean anything.
You're very outdated. You're very outdated in your approach. You're Bukhari.
I'm not outdated, brother. You're saying the Quran is outdated?
Bukhari corrupted the Quran, Habibi. You are living in
he twisted. Yes, the Hadith distorts the Quran.
Yeah, so you are living in the 1800s because
everything. It's 2025.
Hey, bro, you gotta stop speaking over me, dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Everything in Bukhari exists in earlier compilations. So this argument that Bukhari, he made it a Persian, he made it up, right? Muhammad ibn Ismail al-Bukhari, he didn't corrupt anything because all his narrations exist elsewhere. That's point number one. Point number two, okay, when it comes to Hadith criticism, okay, you are outdated because your criticism starts at the compilers. Western Orientalists have already dealt with that, and they have already figured out that the compilers are independently corroborated, and they have moved on to the next set of transmitters.
It doesn't make it true.
Okay.
Christians, 2 billion Christians say Jesus is God.
Sir, you're very outdated in your approach and in your criticism.
I'm going to show you how it's not outdated.
Very outdated.
I'm going to show you. Look.
For example, hey, just stop. I'm giving you a lesson here. Okay.
Go ahead.
If a narration exists in Bukhari and in Muslim and in Ibn Hibban and in Ibn Abi Shaybah and in Musannaf Abd al-Razzaq and in Musnad Ahmad and al-Muwatta, for example, the narration exists in all of these compilations. Okay? For example, could a single compiler have made this up?
It's circular reasoning. Just because rumors are transmitted, it doesn't make it true.
Answer the question. Okay?
Yes, people make things up all the time.
Dude, I ask you a question. If a narration exists in Bukhari and in Muslim and in Muwatta Imam Malik and Ibn Abi Shaybah and Musnad Ahmad and Musannaf Abd al-Razzaq and 6 other compilations, for example, could a single compiler have made up the narration?
It doesn't make it true. Just because many people say something, it doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it true. Yeah, lies are being transmitted about him.
I said, could a single could a single or compiler have made it up?
They got rumors from other people. Rumors.
I
Rumors
didn't
doesn't make
ask
something
that. I
true.
said, could the compiler himself, any of them, could they have made it up?
Could they have made it up?
Yes.
They didn't have to. It's rumors. We can read the content itself.
God, this guy is really brain. Dude.
Brother, it doesn't mean anything. You know those brain dead.
I didn't say it's a rumor or not a rumor. I said at the compiler's level, could a single compiler have made it up?
It wasn't just one person that corrupted it. No, it was many people. It was many people that corrupted it.
So then they couldn't have made it up because they all independently corroborate one another, right?
To spread rumors, yeah. To 6112, God says
This guy,
God says that He has promoted. No, look. Let me finish. The Quran, bro, and you're a mushrik. Look, the Quran says in 6112 that God has given devils and jinns and enemies to all the prophets.
All right.
Muhammad is not an exception.
That's beautiful. All right. Anyway, so back to the topic now that you're trying to dodge.
It's rumors. I'm not dodging. Okay. It wasn't one person. Right. It wasn't one person. They were spreading lies.
So now you're getting barbecued. You're starting to.
You're not barbecuing anything.
So let's get back to the topic. Be a good boy. All right.
I'm being a good boy.
Thank you. Good job. So no single compiler could have made it up because each compiler is corroborated by another compiler independently.
It was already rumors. Let me finish. It doesn't make it true.
Let me finish. I didn't say it makes it true yet. Therefore, it is highly unlikely that a single compiler made it up. Why? Because it's corroborated by different independent sources. We call that the criteria of independent attestation. Okay. And so when the criteria of independent attestation is met, we know that no single compiler have made it up. Now we move past the compiler. Okay. Now Muslim, let's say I heard from Johnny, and you heard, and you say you heard from Mark, and another guy says he heard from Paul, right? And they're all telling us the same thing. Could the people who narrated to us have possibly made it up?
It doesn't have to. That's not a concession. I have no problem saying it wasn't one person.
Good job. Let's give you a clap. Perfect.
Bro, okay.
So because we have independent transmitters living in different geographical locations, in different periods that are independent from one another, transmitting the same thing to each compiler, we know that those compilers couldn't have made this up. Now,
yes, they could have.
Now we could repeat this process over and over again until we either reach a Sahabi, or we reach a Tabi'i, or we reach the Prophet himself.
Okay, which it doesn't. The earliest biography from 200 years.
If the Prophet says something, and five Sahabis narrate this, and those five narrate it to another five, and those five narrate to another five, and they narrate it to 6 or 7 compilers, we know this hadith goes back to Rasulullah.
It doesn't, bro, that's circular reasoning. The companion said it according to who? According to who? And I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree.
According to who?
If I say, look, right now, me and you having a conversation, right? If after I talk to you, I say, the Orthodox Muslim said he's going to go shoot up a school, does that make it true? No, it doesn't. People can lie about what people say.
If you are corroborated by 4 other people who are independently claiming that I said that, I probably did say that then.
No, you didn't, bro. Do you know what a rumor is? Jesus.
Holy crap, this guy doesn't know how history works, does he?
Yes, I do. Okay, historically, Jesus was historically.
You're still a little baby, dude. You're miskin.
Look, historically, look. Oh yeah, a baby.
You're a cute guy. Get the hell off my panel. Get the hell off my panel. You are slow as hell. Do you know what a rumor is? Get out of here, bro. Like, you are stupid, man. I'm sorry. You don't. You guys need to get your high IQs up. It's really not looking good. Hello.
I'm here. Hello. Hi. Peace and welcome, everybody.
How can I
Why is there echo, man?
There's no echo. How can I help you?
There's the echo. Yeah, the final sermon of the prophet. Which version do you accept?
The what?
Final sermon of the prophet.
The what?
Farewell pilgrimage. final sermon of the prophet. Which version do you accept?
The authentic one.
They're all authentic.
Okay.
Want to go through them? Let's go through them.
I accept all of them.
Yeah, they're contradictory.
They contradict
So you don't even know what they do
They
contradict each other.
contradict each other in detail?
Yes. Yes.
Let's see the contradiction.
No problem. And theology and detail. Number one, Mishkat al-Masabi, Sunan Abu Dawud, and Sahih Muslim. I give you citations for all of them. I left for you. There's an echo, but I'm struggling through it. I left for you what if you hold up to you, you will never be misguided. The book of God. That's in those three. Mishkat al-Masabi, Sunan Abu Dawud, and Sahih Muslim. Version 1. Version 2.
Yeah.
I left for you what if you hold up to you, you'll never be misguided. The book of God and my sunnah. That's in Ibn Ishaq, Ibn Hisham.
There's no contradiction so far.
There is. The quote is not the same.
A contradiction.
The quote's not the same.
The contradiction is a P and not P. Is there a P and not P that you could derive?
What's the quote from the Prophet?
The contradiction is a P and not P. Can you derive a P and not P?
We don't need to worry about peace.
No,
the contents of the sentence.
Sir,
what are the contents of the sentence?
Yeah, he's already manifested. He's busted already.
What are the contents of the sentence?
Sir, you said.
Answer the question. Just answer the question.
Don't panic. Don't run.
I'm not panicking. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. I'm right here, bro. Answer my question.
All right.
What are the contents of the sentence? If I have two buckets, if I have two buckets and they have different contents, are they the same?
Stop panicking.
Just answer the question. Not panic. I'm right here. Right here, bro.
So be quiet, Naveed. Be quiet. Don't run.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead. Go for it.
A contradiction is when you could derive a proposition and its negation. In the two narrations that you mentioned, is there a proposition and its negation?
There's two different contents. It's one claimed
I don't
sentence.
deny that. I said,
okay. So what did the Prophet say?
Oh my God. I said, is there a proposition and its negation?
I don't even know what you're saying right now, to be honest.
Can you define a contradiction for me?
Yeah, contradiction is one sentence says one thing, another sentence says another thing. It's claimed to be the same sentence. Yes, it's claimed to be the same sentence. I'm trying to understand what are the words that came out. This is just two of them. Let's keep going.
This is the final.
Let's keep going.
No,
let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Busted on point one.
There's four versions.
I muted you because you keep over talking. We're talking, man. So just be quiet. All right. So Naveed, if I said to my brother, today I went to the store and I told my mother, today I went to the store and bought milk. Is there a contradiction, Naveed? No. Unmute yourself and speak.
If the claim is that there's one sentence and one person is claiming the sentence
there's a contradiction, Naveed.
Yes. If it's the same sentence
between me saying I went to the store and I went to the store and bought milk.
Different contents of the same alleged sentence would be a contradiction. Naveed, it's not funny.
Naveed, so there's a contradiction in me saying I went to the store to one person, and to the other person I went to the store and bought milk. That's a contradiction?
If both sides are claiming there's one sentence and this is the sentence that said, that is a contradiction.
We don't claim the hadith are preserved verbatim.
You don't claim that?
Nobody claims that.
Okay, so you don't. So then, how do you know? For example, if the Prophet prohibited donkey, it didn't mean a dog.
Because there's no other chain that says otherwise.
Okay, a group of people can all have the wrong understanding.
That's very historically implausible. If there's 5 or 6 people, let me finish. If there's 5 or 6 people saying the same thing, then it's probably true that it goes back to the Prophet.
So we have 4 versions of the final sermon. Quran alone will use version 1.
They're all correct in meaning.
Quran alone uses version 1.
Yeah,
Sunni uses version 2.
I don't know if you heard me. I said they are all correct in meaning.
We want to know. Listen to me. Pay attention. Okay, pay attention.
Yeah,
all right, let me know when you're done so I can answer you.
Pay attention because you got caught.
All right, when you're done, let me know. When you're done, let me know.
You don't know how to argue against somebody like me. Maybe you can fool a random Muslim on the street with your code 19 bullshit, but you can't fool me.
Don't call it BS. Don't say that about the miracle. Don't say that. Don't say that about the miracle.
It's rat ass.
We can go through it. We can go through it together and debunk you.
We could go through it. But
how many Prophets chapter 50? You brought it up. Why are you bringing it up so you can't defend?
That's another point. So please stick on topic. Please stick.
Let me know when you're done so I can make my point.
All right. Perfect. So we don't think the hadith of the Prophet is preserved verbatim. Because sometimes you have a transmitter using a word, and then you have a transmitter transmitting the same hadith using a different word. Sometimes the matan is shorter. Sometimes the matan is longer. Sometimes the matan includes a detail. Sometimes the other matan doesn't include a detail. So that's why we do isnad analysis and matan analysis to get back to what the Prophet said, right? So nobody thinks that the hadith is preserved in verbatim words. That is absurd and ridiculous.
Okay, so you're telling me you don't know the actual words of the Prophet. According to your sources, 50,000 people witnessed a farewell pilgrimage sermon. You don't know the exact words that he gave.
We know what the Prophet said in meaning. And we know a lot of the words he said, because if you compare the mutun across all the chains that you have that are massively transmitted, you have the same words consistently. Sometimes you have a diverging word. Sometimes you have a missing detail. But because
you're not answering my question, you're just waffling. I don't want to hear waffle.
Brother,
you're just waffling. This is not the answer.
You are my student today. I am your historian.
Yeah, but you're waffling. So the teacher's waffling. Teacher's waffling. Answer my question directly.
You know what? I'm answering.
You're waffling.
Call me.
You're waffling. You're waffling. Papa waffle. You're Papa waffle. Yeah, Papa Waffle.
Call me Papa, man. Hey,
Papa Waffle, because you're Mr. Waffle.
For me. Hey,
all right,
that's good enough for me, man. All right.
So are you trying to have a discussion here or just a clown show? What is this?
No, you gotta.
You're just waffling.
You are in panic mode.
You're panicking. You're the one yapping the whole time. Let me talk.
Let me answer.
You've been waffling for the last 10 minutes.
You asked a convoluted question.
Answer my question. No. It's a yes or no question. Do you have the exact words of the Prophet? Yes or no?
It's not a yes or no. It's not.
Why are you doing the nervous laughter?
Just answer the question. It's not a dichotomy, dude.
It is. It's a dichotomy. Either you know what the Prophet said or you don't. That's it.
You see, I know. I'm gonna tell you now. We know what the Prophet said, and we know in many instances the exact words he uses when we do the meta-analysis on the mutun that have reached us through the compilers. Dude, can you stop?
It's garbage. Can you stop? The God said
you are literally you don't know how to deal with me. That's why you're panicking.
I deal with you by talking, and you mute me and don't keep over talking me. Let me speak.
You want to let me speak, but you keep cutting me off.
And you keep. I want an answer. You keep yapping.
All right.
It's a yes or no, and you're yapping.
So guess what, Naveed? Muzzle up. Thank you, man. Muzzle up and don't talk unless I permit you to talk. All right. So here's your answer. We know in many cases the exact words the Prophet used. Why? Because we do a meta-analysis on the different mutun through the different asanid that we have. If the mutun are consistent, then we know the terminology itself goes back to the Prophet. If the mutun are not consistent, then we know at least the meaning goes back to the Prophet. That's the answer.
Okay, so you don't know with certainty what the Prophet said.
That's not what I said. Do you want to repeat what I said?
Stop. Just
repeat what I said, because I don't think you got it, man.
No, it's bullcrap.
You're way out of your depth here, man.
You're way out of your depth. Listen, the Quran is the proven word of God. We don't need your hadith.
How do you know that?
We have no benefit from hadith.
How do you know the Quran is the word of God?
Because it's proven beyond. Actually, that's a good question.
How do you know
which version of the Quran do you believe in? How do you know the Quran is preserved?
I'm asking you. How do you know the Quran is preserved?
I have code 19. What do you have? I have code 19. What do you have?
How do you know the Quran is preserved?
Because of code 19. Because of code 19. What do you have?
No,
how do you know what the Quran is preserved?
How do you know historically the Quran is preserved?
I have code 19 that proves it in its current form. What do you have?
I have code 1988. Dude, how do you know the Quran is preserved?
So you have nothing. So you literally have nothing.
How do you know the Quran is preserved?
Is it taqalun or yaqalun? Answer.
How do you know the Quran is preserved?
I answered you. You're malfunctioning now. in front of 800 people, you're malfunctioning.
I'm gonna answer
you. It's called 19th answer.
I'm gonna answer you. Ready? I'm gonna answer you. Ready? It's both.
But go ahead.
You want to know? It's both. You want to know why? Because the Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf, meaning in 7.
Yeah, why is there 30 versions?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
The Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf. The 7 ahruf are 7 variant readings that go back to the Prophet, that go back to Jibreel, that go back to Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Okay, these 7 different ahruf are 7 different skeletons, and the qira'at are different combinations based on the 7 skeletons of text.
What are the names of these skeletons? You have them in the hadith?
You don't need names for the skeleton.
Oh, so you don't? They have names, and there's more than 7, and you're cooked.
No, you're talking about the qira'at. I said there's 7. There's, understand the distinction. There's 7.
What's an ahruf? Explain it to me. Yeah, what is ahruf? Explain it to me.
Thank you for asking. I'm going to repeat it for the second time now. Open up your ears. The 7 ahruf are 7 variant readings, and we can see that from the...
Which 7?
Let me finish.
Which 7?
Guy? Do you want me to tell you or not? Like, bro, you are caught right now.
You said you don't know the names. I have 30 names in front of me.
I know your little Qurani girlfriend is watching you get destroyed by a 22-year-old, but calm down and let me answer you. Thank you very much.
So,
all right? So
yeah, you're just yapping about this. You're just wasting time. You're wasting time on this.
Let me finish.
You are finished.
The 7, no, you're finished and your call is
finished.
You're
finished. You're finished.
Okay.
So do you believe...
Your Quranist girlfriend is attracted to me teaching you right now. I hope you know that. She's watching me teach.
You're just yapping. You just keep yapping. So let me ask you this. Hey, shut your mouth. Hey, shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth.
So let me answer you now. You want to do rhetoric? I could own you. So leave the theatrics aside and get to the substance, please.
So give short answers and address the questions that are asked.
Rhetoric me. All right? Everybody knows it. So let's get to the substance and let's not waste time. All right? So the 7 ahruf are 7 variant readings. There are 7 skeletons of the text. They are preserved by the qira'at, which are combinations of the 7. Can you now steal man and repeat what I said so I make sure you understood?
No, I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to repeat what I said?
I'm not allowed to obey mushriks. 284.
Get the hell off my stage. Get the hell off my stage. You're a waste of time. That's how you know you got baked. Get the hell off my stage, dude. You're not gonna repeat what I said. Like, bro, you can't make this up. Like, these guys are straight bots, dude. I swear to God, like, you can't make this up with these people, bro. Did you guys just see me muzzle 3 Quranis? They came one after the other, and they each got baked. They lined up, and they each got baked, man. Subhanallah al-Azim, man.